Hey guys, it's your girl Delia with PhilaDehliaEagles.com coming to you with another Eagles LaShawn McCoy trade-ness talk. Now that I've had a night to sleep on it, I'm feeling a lot better. Now, a player like McCoy that we've all been so attached to and are just so in love with, it's hard to let a player like that go. So what I was feeling, and I know a lot of you were feeling, was the initial just kind of shock that he's not going to be there anymore. Those memories that we've had of him over the past few years, that's it. There's no more that are going to be had with our team. But with that being said, now that I've had time to kind of soak everything in and really kind of see what we're really getting out of this, I'm excited. I'm a lot more optimistic. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Kiko Alonso, and what I'm getting is Chip, he wants fresh meat. He wants young players that he can mold and develop into his type of team. So what I'm going to do here, I really want to get a very in-depth scoop on Kiko Alonso, and there's only so much that a fan that doesn't follow the Bills as heavily can do and can know. So I'm going to call on my expert, my Bills expert, Mark Vader. Now, the reason I'm calling him is he's a very trusted source for not just football news, especially Bills news. Like, he is very intelligent when it comes to football and his team. So I trust his judgment, and I wanted to kind of pick his brain a little bit about this player because he's going to give us a very good kind of insider scoop, being a fan that has followed him and seen him in action and has seen what he can do for a team. So I'm going to give him a call right now, and hopefully you guys can hear him. I'm just going to call him up on my cell phone here, and we'll go from there. So let's see if he's available.
Hey there, Delia.
Mark Vader.
Wow, that's quite a note you got there.
I'm actually recording you right now. You're going to be probably in my next Eagles talk video. So,
okay, so shall I refer to you by your professional name?
You can refer to me however you want. Just know that you have an active audience waiting to hear what you have to say about Kiko Alonso.
Oh yes, I'm sure people are just dying to hear my opinion.
Well, you know how I talk you up, and I just prefaced my calling you with a describing that you were one of the fans that I feel is very knowledgeable. I respect your opinion. You really kind of research the game above and beyond what the average fan does. So I think you're going to give us a good kind of just rundown and your thoughts on this trade. So how you feel about that?
Well, thank you, PhilaDehlia. I appreciate that. I did see your emergency video talking about this trade. That's good. Emergency video.
Emergency. Nice. And talk louder than normal just to make sure they can hear you.
Oh, okay, I'll try my best.
All right, so Vader, you've already seen my video. You kind of know my initial thoughts, but let me kind of update you with where I'm at now, and then I want to hear your kind of rundown and reaction and all that good stuff. Okay?
Very well.
All
Very
right.
well.
So obviously yesterday I was shocked. I was heartbroken. It was like, someone you thought was going to be in your life forever, and they just up and leave, walk out the door, you know? And that's how I think a lot of Eagles fans were feeling, because we weren't prepared, you know? And it was a different situation. So that first day, I was just kind of like in shock. But now that I've slept on it, I've kind of read up on different just kind of forums here and there and kind of researched what did we actually get and what is Chip planning, and I'm getting more excited. So At this point, I trust that Chip knows what he's doing and he has a clear plan to what he wants. And I'm hearing nothing but great things from all the other Bills fans that I've talked to about Kiko Alonso. So I think just the biggest issue is health. But if he can stay healthy, I think we are going to be in a very good situation. I think we're going to have a really awesome defense if we can kind of use that extra cap space that we have from letting go of McCoy to get some really awesome, cornerbacks to replace the burnt toast that we used to have. I think we'll be in a good situation. So I went from being scared and sad to being optimistic and kind of excited about this new Eagles that we're going to be experiencing. So I'm ready for the roller coaster ride. How about you? Where are you at, Mr. Bills fan?
Well, when I first got the news, I was stunned. This was not something that I saw coming at all. The Bills were trying, from what I heard, were trying to renegotiate with C.J. Spiller, their current running back. And it's obvious as soon as they made this trade that C.J. Spiller is now out of the picture. And getting one of the top running backs in the league, because that's what they needed. They needed a running back. They are now not going to waste a draft pick, which they don't even have a first-round pick this year at all.
Oh, wow.
Running back. Yeah, that was part of the Sammy Watkins trade. So they don't pick until the second round. So now, instead of worrying about having to get a rookie running back, because they're still unsure about Bryce Brown, Fred Jackson is 35, I believe, and, is pretty much a situational runner. And Boobie Dixon is more of a backup and is also a special teamer. So this gives them something that they need. Now, a lot of Bills fans are saying, why did we trade for somebody who has so much wear and tear on them? Because running backs these days are not used the way they were back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Huh.
And that's true. And that is true. But LeSean McCoy is 27.
So are you saying Bills fans are not fully on board with McCoy joining their, they're not fully on board with that? The trade?
Yeah, I think the trade benefits both teams.
Okay.
There is a risk, no doubt. I mean, anything can happen, of course.
Yeah.
But, now I don't know. I don't know what the Bills' offense is going to do. Is LeSean McCoy, is he going to get the ball 35 to 40 times a game? I don't know. Now today, the Bills acquired Matt Castle, the quarterback from the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they trade to get one of the best running backs in the game, and then today they trade to get one of the worst quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So this is just we haven't even started free agency yet. So I don't know what Rex Ryan, Doug Whaley, and Terry Pagula have planned. This is just the beginning. So we'll see. I mean, believe me, Matt Castle inspires nothing out of me. I heard that we actually traded a late pick for him. I have not seen the official transaction.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Matt Castle gets anybody excited. He hasn't done anything since New England, and that was how many years ago? So.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I heard we traded a pick for him. I was like, what, a 7th round pick in 2020? Okay, I'm fine with that. Anyway. So I think, and also, but lots of Bills fans really loved Kiko Alonso.
Yes,
I'm sure you've heard about the legend of Kiko, hashtag or whatever that is.
Can you please explain? I would like just kind of your run. I would like that explained. I would like your whole thoughts on him, what you've seen as a fan watching him play for your team. Give me the whole scoop. I want it all.
Okay.
Don't assume I know anything.
Right. You got it. All right. So the Bills drafted Kiko Alonso 2 years ago. He was a 2nd round pick. You probably know by now he is from Oregon.
Uh-huh.
So obviously Chip Kelly knows him. He had a phenomenal year. His rookie season, he was almost Rookie of the Year. And he did not get selected to the Pro Bowl. He may have as an alternate. I don't know if he did or not. Anyway, some people were wondering, why was he a second-round pick? Well, there was some off-the-field issues that were a big concern. I think drinking was involved. He might have gotten a DUI or something like that.
Oh.
So there were character issues. That's why he was a second-round pick. I believe he had a phenomenal Rose Bowl that year, and that really opened a lot of eyes. But generally, when you talk about the Oregon Ducks, you talk about offense. You do not talk about defense. Oregon is all about one thing: speed. You got to be fast. That's what the Oregon Ducks are. But people were interested in Kiko Alonso as a project player. Some people said he could be a surprise. So Bills draft him. Then training camp reports start coming out. Some whispers are going around. Are you watching this kid, Kiko Alonso? He covers the entire field. People were starting to get really excited about what he could give to the Bills as a defense. Then the season starts. Well, preseason starts, and fans just are really focused on him and he plays. Regular season starts, and they have him. When the Bills still had Chan Gailey as their head coach. So it's not a big business regime. And he primarily played outside linebacker at Oregon. Well, they put him in at middle linebacker. A lot of people thought that was kind of odd because he's a lighter guy. He's not a big guy that you see just plugging up the middle on the ground. However, didn't faze him one bit. He's making tackles. He was good in coverage. He was getting some sacks. He made a lot of highlight reels. With there was one particular interception he had against Joe Flacco and the Ravens that made lots of highlight reels. His concentration, everybody was going crazy over him. He was definitely a star on the rise. One critique of him, this goes back to the draft, was that he's a tendency to play over aggressively, and that did show.
Okay.
Some fans said that the guy was a missile. He saw it, and he saw where the ball was going, where the offensive player was, and boom, he locked in on him and got him.
Okay.
But there were times where he would miss tackles.
Yeah.
Due to that over aggressiveness.
Over pursuing, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. His second half of the season, he began to taper off a little. Not many people really talk about that because fans love to talk about, how fantastic, Kiko Alonso is, how great he is, he can do all of this, just imagine, he can be middle, he can be out, he can be Sam, he can be, middle linebacker, he can do all of that.
He can adjust.
It was hard not to question that.
Okay.
So his rookie year was great. As you know, this past year, he got injured. And of all things, he got injured while he was training. Well, that didn't really sound all that good.
Yeah.
He did have a knee injury in college, and he aggravated that same. So he was out for the year, and, so people sat back and waited. As soon as the year ended, the Bills, with their defense under Jim Schwartz, was, I believe, overall number 4. And it's saying, wow, just imagine how great our defense will be when Kiko basically. And especially now that he's trying to be charged. Well, that's not going to happen now. So,
you're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, sorry about that. I was going to, so now we're at this point where we're at the trade.
Yeah. You also have a highlight video, right, that you wanted to send me?
Yes, I do.
I would love to see that.
And hey, if you want to, pay a little visit to Two Bills Drive, I'm sure people can tell you all you want to know about Kiko Alonso from there as well.
Oh, I bet.
But when we got cut off, I don't know if you heard me ask you my question about the trade. As needed a linebacker?
You know, I think that we needed, for me, I think defense is so important. And I think I was really trying to like wrap my head around like what Chip's thought process is. And I think our defense has been improving, but there's still some holes, and it's still, you know, there's that endurance factor where they have to be able to last the full games. And I think that Chip is really investing into this defense because offense is his specialty. And I think he trusts himself to be able to work with, you know, whatever when it comes to offense. But I think defense, he really wants to have young guys that are able to adapt quickly to whatever his system is, and that are very athletic, because endurance is so important for our defense. They need to hang in there all the way through the fourth quarter without having it affect their game, you know, without letting up and letting the teams, you know, come back. So I think it makes sense for Chip to kind of focus on the defense. I still want him to get two more. I want our cornerbacks to just really. I want us to invest in that position. You know, if we can get just a couple more pieces, I think our defense is going to be amazing. And with Chip Kelly, I think he's, you know, this offensive-minded guy that it doesn't matter if we don't have like the top offensive guys that we need. Like if we don't spend as much money on our offense. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, and Chip Kelly needs to prove that he can put a defense together.
Yeah.
And I think also, let's remember, Kiko Alonso, he's 25. So there is a youth, you know, factor there to take it as well.
Yeah.
And,
I think he wants young, also, fresh meat, people that he can just mold into his perfect vision of an athlete. And youth, that means they're going to have a lot more energy, too, to handle high-tempo offense and defense. Like, people always talk about high-tempo offense, but this defense is high-tempo where they have to be on the field way more than any other team in the league. So they need to have a high endurance, and they need to have their energy and fitness level at a way higher standard than the average defender has to in this league. So I think he's really investing to build that physical specimen that he's looking for, you know? So I don't know. That's kind of where I got with this whole thought process. But, you know, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. And there's one thing that we have not talked about involving this trade that is also important, and that's the fact that LaShawn McCoy's contract was going to be enormous this year.
Yeah.
That definitely had a hand in this.
Mm-hmm.
Now I heard some rumblings last night that LaShawn McCoy is not really all that thrilled about going to Buffalo. I don't know.
I think it came as a surprise to him.
That's my assumption too.
Well, so I don't know if I told you, but like one of his family members contacted me like 2 weeks ago.
You talked about that in your video.
So their thought process just a few weeks ago is, we want to continue connecting with this Eagles fan base. We're ready to start planning events and going out and being with Eagles fan bases out in LA and whatever cities, you know? So they had, to me, that says they didn't have any idea. You know, you don't plan stuff like that when you have kind of a idea that you might not be there, you know?
Well, that's the thing about, you know, and in this day and age of free agency, trades like this, where it's player for player, are rare.
Yeah.
You don't see these kind of things happen.
Yeah.
Anymore. So, yeah, and, you know, if anybody, so when this happens, the players are completely out of the loop.
Yeah.
They have no idea what's going on. You know, this is between, you know, their agents don't even know this.
Yeah.
You know, primarily. You know, this is between the general managers and the owners.
Yeah.
And to an extent, the coaching staffs. So yeah, so that doesn't surprise me with what you said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not unreasonable to think that of course that these two players were still going to be with their teams. So yeah,
well, and you know what? I think I feel bad for LaShawn because I feel like he feels the exact same way we did yesterday. I feel like his heart is in Philly. He grew up in Pennsylvania. Like he's, this is his town, his state, his city. Like I think he wanted to retire here, and he performed in a way where he thought he was secure. But I think his decline last season left things up in the air. And, once you have one question raised, then more questions follow. So it's just sad. I feel like his heart's probably even more broken than ours are, and I'm just like, oh, poor LaShawn, he was an ideal athlete, he did what was expected and he performed at an elite level, and yet he just gets dropped without even like a 2 weeks warning,
Exactly, and he wasn't a problem with the team.
Yeah.
There was a little. I think there was a little bit of stuff with the contract. He's definitely going to dig in and not restructure.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to. That's probably the one thing. And aside from that, though, that's not something I'm that concerned with.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, both teams got two good players.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, there are concerns. Yes, LaShawn McCoy, is he going to get the ball 35 to 40 times?
Yeah.
I don't think he will, but I don't know what Rex Ryan and Greg Roman plan.
Yeah.
He could, he may not, but they do have. Yes.
Oh, sorry. I have my dogs barking, so I'm gonna have to. I have about 5 more minutes, so sorry I got distracted.
Okay, no problem.
So let's close out.
I'm excited to have LaShawn McCoy become a Bill. I did love Kiko Alonso. I was really excited to see what he could possibly do for the Bills next year.
Yeah.
But if they feel that this is the way they want to go, then I'm on board with it. I'm a team first, player second type of fan.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what happens. And it is like I said, you don't see trades like this.
Yeah.
That often. This is a rare moment. So this should be exciting, and today's the 4th. We've got 6 days until the new league year starts, and then free agency begins, and then things will just get even more insane. And finally, you're getting a player with a second-round pick salary, too. It's all think about that. And you're going to be, the Eagles are, $50 million under the cap or whatever? Is that
15, yeah.
So you're definitely, I don't know, are you going to get Marcus Mariota? I think Chip Kelly definitely wants to go that way. I think that's a mistake. But, if that's what he wants to do, then, that's his decision.
Mariota's a whole other conversation in itself. We'll have to do another video on that. Oh, man. All right. Well, I'm ready. I got my seatbelt fastened, and I'm ready to just go along for the ride. So
I have to ask you one last thing.
Oh, what's up?
Did you sleep last night wearing your McCoy jersey?
Yes, of course I did.
I knew
Tears on my pillows.
I figured you did.
So, it's fond memories. Nothing but fond memories and respect for Mr. LaShawn McCoy. So, I'm glad that he's going to a team with a fan base like yours. I know a lot of great Bills fans, so I know he'll be well taken care of when it comes to a fan base. So, that's it. That's it. Gotta let go.
Bills fans are going to be all for him. I've already seen the T-shirts that have McCoy's name on.
Oh, there you go. All right, so that's it. Special thanks to Mark Vader. Shout out to all the Bills fans out there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Eagles fans, how are you feeling now that you've had some time to kind of just soak it in and, take in all the information and kind of rethink what just happened? So, give me comments. If you're new here, subscribe. And that's it. It's your girl Dehlia of PhilaDehliaEagles.com signing off. EAGLES Eagles!